At its peak, Lakewood Church drew 52,000 people each weekend, filling a 16,800-seat arena in Houston and generating roughly $90 million annually. The church became more than a place of worship. It was a spectacle of faith, technology, and performance. Joel Osteen's vision turned traditional church-going into a broadcast-ready event, blending motivation, media, and religion. The massive sanctuary, advanced audio-visual systems, and meticulously choreographed services became part of a carefully designed experience. But as attendance declines, scandals surface, and public scrutiny intensifies, the question emerges: how did a church built on hope and abundance fall into crisis? The architectural marvel Lakewood's home was once the Houston Rockets Arena, later leased long-term by the church in 2003. Over 2 years, $100 million transformed the stadium into a 5-story worship complex with offices, children's ministries, and a broadcast center. The sanctuary rivals the finest concert halls, with high-definition screens, stage lighting, and sound equipment designed to reach every corner. Production teams manage multiple camera feeds and live edits for in-person and global audiences. Every technical detail serves one goal: a full house. The building itself became a monument to Osteen's vision of faith as an immersive theatrical experience, merging spectacle with spiritual engagement, a financial powerhouse. Lakewood's operation mirrors its architectural scale. Annual revenue of $90 million comes mostly from tithes, offerings, and branded resources. Over 70% of the budget fuels media broadcasts, weekly services, and touring productions, while more than 350 staff manage worship, translation, broadcast, and administration. Joel Osteen's television ministry reaches millions weekly across 100 countries. Book sales, including bestsellers like Your Best Life Now and Become a Better You, add global reach and influence. Osteen has claimed he hasn't taken a salary since 2005, relying instead on royalties and speaking fees. The church's financial engine underpins its media empire and positions it as both a religious and commercial force. The prosperity message. At the heart of Lakewood's appeal is a simple, repeatable message: faith brings favor, and positivity leads to abundance. Sermons avoid sin and controversy, focusing instead on hope, prosperity, and personal growth. This formula proved widely successful, turning Lakewood into a brand that blends church, media company, and motivational platform. The approach attracts millions and provides a sense of optimism and inclusivity. But critics argue the simplicity comes at a cost, hollowing out the deeper truths of Christianity. The strategy emphasizes accessibility and marketability, ensuring mass appeal, but raising questions about the substance of its spiritual message. Hurricane Harvey controversy. In August 2017, Hurricane Harvey devastated Houston. While many local facilities opened as shelters, Lakewood's massive arena initially stayed closed. Social media posts claimed flooding made access impossible, but images and videos from residents showed dry streets and parking lots. The public backlash was swift, with viral photos sparking outrage. Only 2 days later did the church open its doors in partnership with the Red Cross. The incident damaged the church's reputation, contrasting its message of abundance and generosity with a perceived failure to act. Headlines highlighted the gap between image and action, raising enduring questions about whom Lakewood truly serves. Internal criticism. Joel Osteen's approach has drawn criticism from within Christianity. Influential pastors and theologians have called his prosperity message a false gospel, arguing it prioritizes happiness and personal gain over core spiritual truths. Interviews and public statements reveal a deliberate avoidance of controversy and doctrinal specificity, emphasizing encouragement and common ground rather than detailed teachings on salvation. While this strategy broadened Lakewood's audience, critics contend it diluted faith substance. For some, the church's approach seems carefully designed to appeal to as many people as possible at the expense of the rigorous theological foundation traditionally associated with Christian ministry. Pandemic exposure. When COVID-19 forced Lakewood to close in March 2020, the church moved services online. While the polished production continued, the lack of a live audience exposed weaknesses. Without the energy of a full sanctuary, sermons sounded repetitive and thin. What once felt uplifting in person became less compelling on screen. attendance and engagement began to show cracks in the model. The pandemic revealed that Lakewood's success depended heavily on spectacle and in-person energy. As viewers noticed the repetitive content, questions arose about whether the church's focus on showmanship had overshadowed deeper spiritual connection. Declining attendance and financial stress. Lakewood's attendance has dropped sharply. From a peak of 52,000 weekly attendees, the church now sees around 25,000, leaving many sections empty. The shrinking audience has strained finances, with leaked documents indicating revenue fell nearly a third since 2019. During the pandemic, Lakewood briefly took a $4.4 million paycheck protection loan to maintain payroll, later returning it after public criticism. Leaks of $600,000 in hidden cash from 2014 further fueled concerns. Behind the polished image, operational stress and declining trust have surfaced, exposing vulnerabilities in a system built for constant growth and high visibility. Security challenges. Lakewood's size and open access create ongoing security challenges. In February 2024, a woman carrying an AR-15 opened fire during a service, injuring her 7-year-old son before being stopped by off-duty police. The incident highlighted the tension between welcoming congregants and maintaining safety. Mega churches like Lakewood face unique risks. Large crowds, public access, and media visibility make complete security impossible. The business model itself, requiring large gatherings, conflicts with safety concerns, leaving institutions vulnerable to rare but devastating events and forcing re-evaluation of emergency protocols for both staff and congregants. The digital dilemma. Lakewood thrived on innovation, using high-tech production to differentiate itself. Yet the rise of streaming and digital content has shifted public expectations. What once seemed spectacular now appears commonplace, reducing the uniqueness of the megachurch model. Audiences can access similar motivational content from anywhere online, diminishing the draw of large physical services. The shift highlights an inherent vulnerability in branding faith. Spectacle can attract attention, but it can also expose fragility when the market evolves. Lakewood's experience reflects a broader challenge facing organized religion in a digital, content-saturated world. Broader cultural trends. Lakewood's struggles mirror wider trends in American religion. Only 28% of adults attend church weekly, leaving even major institutions vulnerable to declining engagement. The combination of digital media, skepticism, and generational shifts challenges traditional models of mass worship. Mega churches must reconcile financial pressures, operational complexity, and public scrutiny. The story of Lakewood illustrates the fragility of institutions that blend faith and brand, showing how success can be amplified and undone by social, cultural, and digital currents. Conclusion: faith as brand, challenges as reality. Lakewood Church's rise and challenges reveal a modern paradox. Faith packaged as a brand can achieve massive reach, influence, and revenue, yet remains vulnerable to scrutiny, declining engagement, and operational strain. Joel Osteen's vision created a church that is a spectacle, a media empire, and a motivational platform. But crises, pandemic, scandal, and public outrage expose the limits of this approach. As religious attendance declines nationally, Lakewood's empty seats serve as a symbol of the tension between hope and reality, spectacle and substance, and the enduring search for meaning beyond the marketing of faith.